Parker Rehm, our good friend, joins us for another conversation here about the Aggies. It feels like with this team, Parker, that they have been able to find different ways to win, whether it's high-scoring games, low-scoring games on the road. And then this past week, in my opinion, this might be their most impressive game, going to Death Valley, a close game early, blowing it out late. What did you make of the Aggies' latest performance to stay undefeated on the year?
Well, Gerhard, if Patrick's prediction of them losing 4 games is going to come true, then they're going to have to lose to Samford.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Just heard who that was on the graphic.
Right, that clip was pretty funny too. But we'll see. Maybe Patrick's onto something. But I think they did put a lot of those doubts to bed. A lot of those people that may have had doubts about this A&M team. And Mike Elko even addressed it this week too. He's like, let's stop talking about the past and what we weren't able to accomplish in the past. Let's talk about the present and what we're doing now to sort of silence those doubters. And they did just that in Baton Rouge. I mean, talk about a second half beatdown in Baton Rouge. I think that's really what Texas A&M did. And you saw the effect. LSU just can't take it anymore. They let go of Brian Kelly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Fired a coach there in the process. To me, there was an old Nick Saban quote. It was make their blank quit, and it was just kind of like impose your will on this team until they quit. I had not really seen that from Texas A&M from this football team as they were kind of marching through the season, even though they were undefeated. Do you feel like this game was another statement in the level that they can take their game even higher than where they are? Because I think a lot of people are paying attention to Ohio State, and deservingly so, and Indiana, and deservingly so. But this win seemed to me like, hey, they're putting their footprint on college football and saying that, hey, we've played well, we're undefeated, but we still have another level.
I think it was a statement. And you look at the 2 wins that really draw a lot of attention, Notre Dame and then this LSU one. But I think the LSU win was a little bit more, more impressive. I think the Notre Dame game, since it was so close, since it was just back and forth an offensive shootout, I think a lot of people didn't put a lot of stake in that. Like, oh, they maybe just lucked out in South Bend. But this one was all Aggies in the second half, and even trailing at the half. Marcel Reed throwing 2 interceptions. I mean, that they didn't play the best in the first half, but they come out of in the second half like men on a mission. That punt return from Casey Concepcion really changing the momentum, and then from that point on, I mean, all Aggies in Baton Rouge on Saturday. So I do think that it definitely brought this Aggies team to a new level, and they do have a legitimate case to be in that top 2. I think that might have been cause for concern for some Aggie fans to be just staying put at 3 with the resume that they built so far.
Is it fair? I feel like every week I look at Texas A&M, and it feels like they have a sluggish first half, and then Mike Elko just says something. He's got the like Mike's secret stuff that he just gives to the players, and then they just come out in the second half, and then they just pull away. I mean, is it fair to say that they're a second half team? Or is that might be pushing it a little bit.
It is a good question, because historically second half teams do make deep runs. I mean, you have to be somewhat of a second half team, but I think they're trying to shake that narrative where they want to play the full 60 minutes. Right. I don't think they just want to play the final 30. So I do think we've seen that this year, though, is they are a second half team. And we've seen that in those close games where they're able to shut the door in various ways. That Auburn game, not letting the Tigers get anything going in that second half and kind of climb back into it, even with the offense down and out for the count. And then you see those Notre Dame games and the LSU games, the offense really just providing that spark. I guess you could classify them as a second half team, but I'm sure Mike Elko would not like that if you said that to him.
Mike Elko just wants everyone to just focus on the 60 minutes. He doesn't want to talk about the past. He doesn't want to talk about being a second half team. But I'm sure he does want to talk about Marcel Reed, because, I mean, he was one of those guys that did spark that second half, winning SEC Offensive Player of the Week. It feels like he's really started to come into his own here as the season has progressed.
Yeah, I think you've seen a lot of maturity expanding throughout the season, but we knew the talent that Marcel Reed had. I think it was about taking that next step. You saw that in South Bend. You've seen that throughout SEC play. Is this guy is legit? I think he's climbing up those Heisman boards, and if Texas A&M keeps winning, rightfully so. I think it's right now. I've seen a lot of people 1 and 2 with Ty Simpson and Marcel Reed in terms of that Heisman race, and I think that he's earned every bit of that. He's doing it through the air, he's doing it on the ground, but he's also leading Texas A&M to these wins in any form or fashion, and I think that's really the most important thing.
Is that a formula that you think can continue? He was the leading rusher in this football game. For this team moving forward, I know that one running back is down, but obviously you still got a really nice running back room. Are his legs something that they will continue to use moving forward? Or do you think that was a one-off given the situation against LSU?
He kind of broke through last year against Brian Kelly's defense in Aggie land. He had 3 rushing touchdowns in that game. I think it is part of his game. I think that's something that can't be discounted. And he even said that at the beginning of the year, that he's seen all the talk. He's not a passer, but he has developed as a passer. And I think the running has always come naturally to him. And that's what he showed, a career high against LSU in Baton Rouge. So I think a lot of Tiger fans were like, oh, not this again. But that's something that he could do on any given Saturday. I think he just tries to let the game come to him, and that's what he's been doing this season.
You mentioned Casey Concepcion at the beginning of the season, and he has been kind of a spark, maybe an X factor for this football team. How impactful has he been for those that have watched Texas A&M, maybe scoreboard watch, but haven't watched play-to-play, series-to-series? How impactful has he been in just the timing of his huge plays?
I think whether it's catching the ball or returning it 80-plus yards for a touchdown. I mean, how many players in the country can you say can make that impact on both of those sides of the ball? I think, and that's something that Casey Concepcion brings every single time he touches the ball, is the threat of scoring a touchdown. And then you add Mario Craver to the mix too. The speed of Mario Craver on the outside really drawing some attention maybe away from Casey Concepcion. So when he gets the ball, it might be 6. And that's what you saw in Baton Rouge. He definitely could be up for returner of the year. We'll just see where the cards fall.
Absolutely. We got a chance to hear from Coach Micah Elko about, hey, don't talk about the past right now. This is all about what's going on in 2025.
Yeah, I told him, I said, you're the better team, but you have to play better football. And if you don't play better football, you're going to let one slip away tonight. That's honestly what I told him at halftime. I said, we got to stop committing penalties. We got to stop short-selfing our drives. We got to stop missing tackles. We got to step up and we got to tackle people. And I thought, obviously we went out and we got a good start to the second half, and I think we got the momentum, and then the punt return really put us up and started to play from the front, and I thought we had a big advantage at that point. Again, like I keep saying this, it's not about the past. We got to stop worrying about the past, thinking about the past, talking about the past. I'm excited for what this team is doing right now. This team is doing some really special things. I think we should enjoy it. I think we should stop focusing on last year. I think we should, I answered 3 questions on our Wednesday media call about last year. I don't understand why we can't just enjoy what's happening. We should enjoy what's happening. We're an 8-0 football team.
From a mindset standpoint, he's obviously sick and tired of the reporters asking about the past and all of that. From a mindset standpoint, do you think the team has completely bought into what they're trying to do right now, or do any of those demons from previous years at all enter the equation, or is that just off from all of us on the outside?
Yeah. Honestly, I think it is a little bit on the outside, but that's also the pessimism that comes with what's happened in Texas A&M athletics throughout the years. I think you get to these points where, this might be the year. Similar, we were talking about baseball, like the Brewers and the Cubs. It's always, this might be the year, and then it's always a letdown at the end of the season. I think that's similarly to what Texas A&M fans have felt, but also what Texas A&M football players have felt. And Mike Elko's trying to not put as much of an emphasis on what hasn't been done in the past and what could be done in the future. So I do think it seeps in a little bit. It's not easy as a program to consistently be in the SEC, be in that title consideration, and then not make it there. And I think they're trying to make it to the SEC championship for the first time ever. And if they can do that, I think a lot of those demons from the past will be exercised from College Station for sure.